So the B58 is already a pretty stout motor in itself, but it does come with some problems, which is located right here, known as the PCV. I'll insert some clips of the PCV failing right here. So with this kit from Ross Racing, it helps delete the plastic rubber underneath there, which kind of gives up under high boost, as well as normal wear and tear. And this will just permanently fix it and allow the car to breathe better. Alright, so in the box, what you're going to receive is you're going to receive 3 different things. You're going to first receive the cap, the Ross Racing breather cap. It already comes with the O-ring set onto it, as well as the set screw locations. Since this is the VE Essentials kit, you will only need to use 2 of the set screws, which come included in this bag. This bag here has these 2 set screws, as well as the matching Allen key. And it comes with an extra rubber band, which I'll show you if you want to use it or if you don't really need to use it. And then the third more important part is the actual like hose fitting. Since this is like the VE Essentials kit, it does come with the regular like fitting and not like the upgraded fitting on like the V1s and V2s. So I thought that was pretty cool. So to make your life a little bit easier during the install, what Ross Racing recommends is that you preemptively kind of do like the set screws and kind of like thread them in. So I'll just give you guys a little tutorial on how to do that. Set screws are really tiny, like they're like obscenely tiny, as well as the matching Allen key. So you really have to be careful as to when you do it when you're like at the engine bay to make sure you don't lose these at all. How it will sit in the engine bay is a little like this, facing towards, like if you were standing in front of the engine, it would kind of sit like this way. And then the set screws that we're going to use are the one in the front here that would be pointing towards you, and the one in the back, so kind of closer to the firewall. And then for the set screws, you just kind of lay it in here. It just sits like this. When it's going to be in the engine, it's going to sit flush to the motor. So I'll just try to demonstrate. Don't force anything, make sure to not cross thread it. So yeah, that's a little bit how it should look like when it's sitting in the motor or sitting on the engine, just a little bit more inwards. And then it just kind of like keeps it in place there. Same thing for the back as well. There you go, you see the 2 set screws on the left and the right there, sitting in place. And then that way, so we know it doesn't have any bad threads and that it will go in smoothly when we actually install it. There are separate kits available from Ross Racing, such as the Gen 1 V1 kit and the Gen 1 V2 kit, as well as some new stuff coming out for the Gen 2s, M340s, M440s, etc. And those are for kind of like higher boost, single turbo, big boost setups. So what you want to do first is you're going to pop off the engine cover. It has these 4 little set grommets and it just kind of lifts off. I already popped it off, but yeah. So the PCV is back here and I don't have a rubber tool, so I'm going to just use this to pop it off. But it's just behind the oil cap, and then it won't really pop off by your own hands. You just kind of got to use a pry tool underneath it. So this is the rubber diaphragm that came off, or sorry, this is the plastic part that came off the rubber diaphragm. This is the actual diaphragm right here. So originally when I got the car, it did have a PCV malfunction, so this one's pretty new, probably about like 4,000 or 5,000 kilometers left or later. It's still fresh, but PCV problems would usually happen here, and it would start cracking and release crankcase pressure. So just take this portion out right here, because you won't be needing it in the upgraded one, as well as the spring. So this is like a complete PCV diagram that you'll see for sale online. In the upgraded kit, it doesn't really come with a rubber diaphragm. It just comes with these couple O-rings, and then it would vent crankcase pressure out of this side, basically like removing all plastic bits. And this is like fully metal as well. So just to help this sit better on this, you just want to get some oil on your hand and then just kind of like apply it around the O-rings and gaskets just to allow for it to have like a better seal and stuff. So just a little wrap around here. You don't really need to add too much because it is like properly made and stuff. So just a little bit like this, and it should allow it to sit a lot better. Just like that. When you go to apply it, you just kind of have to heavily press it on. Just as another reminder that the Ross Racing has to face east. And then it's just going to take a heavy hit for it to fully seal. So with your set screws now, what you're going to want to do is put one in the front and one in the back, and then that will kind of be like the rest, and then you'll just have to connect the hose that I have afterwards. So this here is what the set screw will look like when you first thread it in. I'm not going to thread it in all the way yet, just because I still have to do the one in the back and I have to tighten it. So with both set screws in, one in the back, one in the front, now you're just going to allow it to, you're going to use the Allen key and you're going to tighten it just so it sits right on the edge and it sits flush with the cap. So with both set screws in, there's basically no play in the cap anymore. The next step is to just install this rubber fitting onto here, and then it will route down there. So now that everything's installed, I just put the rubber band over here just to make sure it looks a little bit better and then it doesn't like come up anywhere. Just use a box wrench for this part, and yeah, started up smoothly, no leaks, no air coming out, I don't feel anything, and yeah.